Penis, penis,
Hello,
penis.
hello, hello.
Hello.
If,
Yeah.
if if your child accidentally clicks this link and that was the first thing they heard, well, it's anatomy. I'm sorry, but I'm not Jesus.
It's just a part of the
Male
human
genitalia.
Oh.
anatomy. That one's you
Paint.
can't say that.
Now you're making me think of John LaJoie. You know, like
Yeah, you know him.
I don't know him.
that's that. We're talking like the origins of YouTube. He was popular, so that was a long time ago. When you guys were wearing diapers, I was like, yeah,
I
song's
remember
great.
diapers.
So
I remember diapers. I used to wear. I wear diapers.
So you guys make your way back to the camp, and when you get back there several days later, no problems. It actually took you a bit longer because of the horse, but you come back into camp with the horse, and there's no issues getting back in there at all. Bastion is currently not inside the because you slept overnight, finished the trek in the morning, and his trainings are particularly long. You are going to come around the way where you can actually see Bastion training with a couple of the other dwarves under Jun Run on the field. So you guys come approaching.
Why was I in a cave, by the way? I never got to ask.
Collateral.
Yeah, basically we needed to keep up a display of like, oh, they're being tough on us because we're not trusted. So one of us had to go in the cage.
Okay.
All of those reasons, and you weren't here. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I just didn't know why.
yeah. So you guys are walking across the field, and you see Jun Run doing hard drills. You're sure she notices you because you guys are walking across like a field area, but she doesn't turn to acknowledge you as you guys approach. You also notice them, Bastion. I don't know if you say anything as you see your companions approaching with a horse.
I probably wave at them with my shield, and then smack someone with my with a wooden sword or whatever I'm using to train.
They go flat. So and they're not wooden swords; they're real swords. They're just not
Oh, okay.
hardened. They're just not sharpened.
Yeah.
To any point, they're
smack
actually
it
very
around.
dulled. Yeah. So as soon as you like wave at them and you smack the person, you hear Jun Run say, "Bastion, focus." And then like as she says Bastion, focus, like realizing because they didn't notice it on their own, the fact that you were distracted for a moment, 3 other dwarves come rushing at you to attack you. Like, and you weren't. It's not like you were fighting several on one by any stretch, but like they know that cue of hers, and so they turn to attack you to like a punishment for not focusing. And so do me a favor, roll me a
Is this our only party fumble today?
no, there's no party fumble. Roll unless somebody does it now. Roll me an athletics check with please.
Just normal.
Yep.
Okay.
So you actually are able to like wheel around in time that as the attack comes in, because you can imagine she said that's him a lot of times because
Probably used to it.
distracted easy. She you wheel around and you're able to like with your shield because you're really good with shields. Block 2 of the attacks at once, and you sweep down low. And right before the last attack, you didn't put up a guard to defend against that last attack. You literally just take out the guy at his leg and like throw him sideways so his attack doesn't hit you because you hit him instead. And so it's like a really good moment. And you kind of like your character's like a puppy type that like looks for like acknowledgement or appreciation. You look at her, stone face. She doesn't give you like the adoration you were hoping for in the moment. Daddy, love me.
Yeah, I'm smiling when I look back at her, see her face, smile fades away, and I just nod and go back to training.
Walking past Jun Lun and just like giving like a small like wave or head nod as an acknowledgement. Brelka actually walks through here into the camp. Doesn't stop at all. How about the rest of you guys?
I stop and watch Bastion for a bit.
Having
I
fun
imagine
there,
that Brelka's
Bast.
gonna go off and do reporting.
I see they let you out.
Not answering because I'm training.
She turns to the 3 of you and says, "Do you think this is a spectator's sport? Get in there."
I don't know. We were just on the road for a while.
Oh,
I'm looking after
Bran is
June.
already getting stuff. He knows how this works.
So you guys jump into the fray, and it's one of those things where, honestly, because you guys switch partners in Do-Si-Do, it's one of those things, Bran, where at one point in time, you're fighting against, because this isn't your equipment, right? This is the training equipment. One point in time, you're actually fighting against Bran. Bran's not good at fighting. Let's be serious.
Brand's fighting
But-
against Brand.
Sorry, Bastion's fighting against Bran.
Okay.
Bran's not good at fighting. Let's be serious. But he has this like one moment where like when he hits you, sometimes it delivers a harder blow than you would have expected. But there's one moment where like he does this like awful attack, like completely overhand chop attack, super simple defense for you. You just throw your shield up to block it, but your shield doesn't block the attack. As a matter of fact, the shield is entirely shattered from the sheer might of the attack as he brings this.
My good shield?
No.
Like
This is a
actual
training
shield?
shield.
No, training equipment.
The shield is completely shattered from the overhand from his puny little frail arms, his Mathis arms, overhand blow towards the shield. It shatters everywhere. You can even feel like microfractures, like shin splints sort of thing, like microfractures all up your like radius and ulna. Like you feel it all up your arm. Your shoulders actually vibrating. Like that blow fucking hurt. Like you're like, oh shit, like you felt it instantly. And it actually catches you off guard so much that Bran is able to like use the moments to even like hit you a second time at the hip, which for a lesser man maybe would have done something. but your hips don't quit. So
Oh god.
you still eventually win the fight. So the training ends and Junlun.
Wait. Can we get a Leonard and Bastion versus Talabast and Bran?
No.
I want to work on my teamwork with Leonard.
Oh yeah,
we can actually we'll do that for now. We're not going to do that on camera because there's stuff that I know that is important to take care of.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely have that kind of stuff. We'll say that you've been working on that, and we'll bring it about next session. Okay. So the thing finishes up, and Junlun more or less, Junrun, she more or less is like, says to everybody, "You have work to do. Some of you did well in a few areas. All of you did terrible in most areas."
Nice.
But there is progress. As small as it is, there is progress. And she you help pack up the stuff, and it's brought back to the camp. Now you guys are actually open for RP with either her, each other, or to go straight to the leader band dude person. What do you guys say?
What do you guys want?
Hi,
Bash.
Bastion.
Good to see you again.
How you doing, Bastion?
I'm well. I thought you guys arrived earlier when I heard Tal interrupt my training.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like it takes Bran like half a second. It's like, oh yeah.
So you were in a cave earlier.
He was in a cave, all right, by the sound of it.
I was in a cave several days ago.
Was it this cave, Bastion?
It was a cave.
Right. Well, yeah. Could have been worse, I suppose.
What have
Do you
you
mind
learned?
explaining what exactly happened? You just kind of left.
Oh, yeah. I got stabbed, and then I was on a boat.
Well, I would say
It's a
some stuff
long
happened in
story.
between, but not really.
It was
I got Tal a horse.
Bran's magic seemingly sent every living creature in a small area to various different locations a couple times.
Did you
yeah.
go somewhere fun? Well, besides
I went to a place. You would have loved it, Bastion. There was a giant bed. It was all fancy and well made up.
That
And there was
does
a
sound
big
nice.
tub there as well. That's just the kind of tub a Witcher would just love to soak in for a while. Unfortunately, I bled all over the
I have
bed
the
because
sinking feeling that if I were to take a bath there, I would find a weird crustacean or creature in the bathtub with me.
Someone played The Witcher 2. Crustacean.
I don't remember what it was. It was like a bug. Or
Just like an
Yeah,
evil
I
lobster.
know. I think he's right.
Yeah, some kind of
I
evil.
didn't actually
crustacean.
say that in case.
So, we'll catch you up on everything that happened today, but we kind of need to find what's his name?
so dull.
Fuck's his name? Is that him, the leader?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's his name.
I imagine I probably know where he is for the most part, just because I've been hanging out here. I know where he hangs out now.
Did you have a drinking game with him? It was like, I
Probably.
can drink you under the table.
He's probably in his cave.
Yeah.
Spends all his time in that cave.
No, follow me. I lead them to the leader man.
Okay, so you guys go to, as you said, you head over to the cave to speak with the person. And when you go in, it's one of those like you get audience. It's you don't wait like an extended period of time. You get audience pretty quickly to meet with Zodal. A minute or so. When you go in there, as always, you go in and the four of you are make your way in, and you can sit down again in an uncomfortably tight, cramped space. He sits across from you guys. Excuse me. There's the female dwarven guard that stands behind you here. This is not the same female as which guards you at the little cell there. Bastion is a different female. Actually, you've spent enough time here, long enough that you've been able to identify who she is because you've never interacted with her or said anything to her or anything whatsoever. So her name is actually Iga. That's Ega. Iga. She's also the daughter of the leader. And I've described her a bunch of times before as like taking up the whole just described her clothing, but never really described her as like wielding a weapon or being quite guardy. She's just standing there, right? So Iga actually happens to be his daughter, and she's like the keeper. She's the medic to this like small band here, and she's the record keeper. So she actually has like a lot of information about like the dwarven peoples of what she knows, like their stories, their cultures, so on and so forth, and also like the goings on of the camp here. So the most important thing to note is like while Zodal is the one that clearly is the boss. He runs the show. One of his daughters takes care of all perimeters. That's Belka, who you guys have gotten to know. And Iga takes care of like all the knowledge of the place. So his two daughters kind of like run that stuff. And then he has other people that do other jobs, obviously. So as you sit down from him, and so she's behind you, he's in front of you. And as always, is that the young dwarven boy that is stands behind him. And so as you guys come in, he's like, yes. Come and sit. What is I have already been filled in by my daughter. She is. I can't remember which accent I did for him. My accent's terrible, anyways.
This is fine. This works.
Yeah,
It's like you had like a Russian thing going on for a minute.
Yeah, I know. No, that I think that was Unband is the obnoxious.
Unband was fully Borak.
Yeah. So he's
DC.
So he's like, my Belka has already come and filled me in on the information of your travels, that you've come across the camp, those scouting for us, and you've killed them. Apparently they don't report back and haven't in a long time, which is good information, because that being said, that means they might have a period where they're just not even looking for us and don't know it.
They'll probably be blind for a good while. Although, now that their smoke signals have stopped, they might assume that something is up, but we've still bought weeks, easily.
Well, we haven't found anybody that's even been able to see the smoke signals. Granted, they can be seen from miles, especially from somewhere up high where you have a clear view. But how many miles could one really stretch out and hope to see? Unless, of course, they're using magics, but that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Hypocrisies. You've got to enjoy them.
So
You
you
sure
already
don't
know
mind using it when it's convenient and then chucking it away.
So we did what you asked. We took care of your problem. Now maybe you could help us.
There was I asked if you could do one of these tasks for me, and one of the two tasks, and you took care of that for me, and I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. I am willing to aid you, as we've discussed before.
Good.
Great.
Let's see.
Trying to remember. I'm trying to remember exactly what we were trying to get out of him in the beginning.
First off, don't you need to get your contract broken by Malvoon?
Right.
Yes. Now that we have officially started aiding the Scoia'tael, we have started the progress of going against the contract.
Not really sure how that works.
That's not for me to understand. You'll just have to speak to Malavoon about that.
Yes,
Honestly,
we'll have to go
the
to
whole thing confuses me.
You'll get us in contact with him then, I assume.
You've met him before. I can. As I've said before, I'm going to make sure that he understands that. I made sure that he understands that things are settled. I removed the mark from your friend's hand here, Bastion, and he actually turns to Bastion and says, "Who's been a gracious guest and has made some friends here in the camp as well," which is
Well, that's
do a
surprising to
small
hear.
bow.
I'm glad to hear that.
Glad.
Light bow.
And he's like, but beyond removal of that mark, which is a sign in and of itself, Malvoon would be able to pick up my blood in your veins, and he'll know that it was me that broke the mark specifically, and he'll know.
Good.
Great.
He's an interesting mage. He is. What he dabbles in genuinely concerns me, but
Most mages are that way for me. I totally follow. There's actually something else we need to talk to you about. Something that recently came to our attention.
please.
Do you mind? And I motion to the guards in the room.
This is the one guard that stands in the doorway behind you.
Right, yeah,
She
that
always
one.
just stands there. And so you actually like look to her. You gesture to her, but to him, and you say, "Do you mind?" He's like, "I never mind my guards being there. But if this is a conversation that's a bit more on the serious matter," he turns and he looks towards the boy, same as he did before, and the boy just walks out of the room. Is there anywhere hesitation, or do you push on?
Tell us about the half dwarf.
There's a legend. Is that what you're referring to?
It's probably the one. Whatever it is, I know you don't want to talk about it, and I respect that, but not entirely sure what.
So he was, that was a bit more pointed. From his perspective, that was a bit more pointed what you just asked. So when you say that he said the legend, like he was referring to like an old story that your character probably just wouldn't know. Maybe Bastion knows it because he spends so much more time in bars. He might know the legend of the half dwarf because half dwarves are generally like some that people people don't think there's half dwarves walking around everywhere. That's not a half dwarves
Right.
aren't a common race in the Witcher series. One might argue that they don't even exist, right? So anyways, so he. When you say that back, probably because it went over your head, this is where he says, because you don't like, really want to tell us about it, he's like, "I told you that I would aid you. How is it that you need me to aid you? What do you? How does telling you an old legend? Are there secrets within it?"
There's a half dwarf here in the area.
Who told you such things?
Look, it's. I asked a very pointed question here. It's not something that I'm going to let you off the hook about. I need to know why it is treated the way it is. It being the rumors of this boy, or I think it's a boy. I think they said it was a boy.
Yeah, specifically referred to as a boy.
Looks like a dwarf.
How does this pertain to
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
you came to me and you want to lend me aid as opposed to aiding that of the witch hunters.
Mm-hmm.
You have a contract you need to break that's between you and Malvoon.
Mm-hmm.
You hear rumors of a boy. You believe fully that these rumors are true. And I have to ask, let's assume they are true in your ridiculous scenario.
Sure.
Why does it matter? How does this aid you?
There is a faction that you may have heard about, witch hunters, that are purposefully throwing themselves here at us and at you for this particular boy. I think it's important for us to know what the fuck's going on.
When you see a man squeal, knowing that he's about to be tortured, he will
Tao gives you a
squeal
dark glare.
all that he knows, and in doing so, reveal things that were unknown to the party chasing them.
Orchard.
The man spoke, yes, one of the scouts spoke of a boy who looks like a dwarf, but really isn't. A half-dwarf. They were sent to kill him specifically if they could find him, or if they failed in doing so in the open or in the shadows, they would report back and basically send in the troops. So, in order for us to be able to help you better and understand better what's going on over here, would you please be so kind as to tell us about this half-dwarf?
He looks and he sees that everybody is like, Bastion might be a little,
I don't know what's
In the
going
dark.
on. I'm like,
but he looks normal. So he sees like everybody is like, this is not going to be let up easy. He's actually sitting there calculating his odds. He's the kind of person, again, he's been wise before and, thinks about his things before he says them. He's calculating things for a while. I mean, the pause is very telling, if nothing else. He seems genuinely aggravated. And then he's like, so, I can tell you rumors about this boy in my camp. Because, fuck. And then he says several curses in Dwarven that you would not say around your mother, despite how she curses. Yeah.
Yeah.
These witch hunters that are coming for us. You know where they come from, yes? These aren't exactly...
I've already passed on a map with outdated information that we were able to get from the scouts to Brelka.
That's not what I mean. These clearly aren't Nilfgaardian men. There's only one land where people like this would come from. These are Redanians. Redania is not far from here, which is why they've been able to be so hot on us for so long. Do you know about the ruler of Redania? Before he died.
Mad old bastard, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He left behind no kin to take the throne. You know that. Radovid was the last.
You're not insinuating that.
Are you implying that
somehow related?
Are you implying that the heir of the throne is in this cave? Jesus Christ.
Nobody else find it odd that a man of his age, of his virility, if you look at the family, man of his means, had no offspring? Not a one. Not even a daughter. not even a stillbirth.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe it. And neither will any of the nobles of Redania. They're pure king, breeding with a dwarf.
He didn't just breed with dwarves.
We weren't hired to wipe out the Skeletal, because Scoia'tael, Jesus Christ. We were not hired to wipe out the Scoia'tael because they've been a thorn in their side. We were hired to wipe out the Scoia'tael because they wanted to kill the heir to the throne.
It's not just the heir to the throne. Assuming this ridiculous rumor that you're forcing me to share with you is something worth credit. It's someone who could take a human throne from the humans. There are rumors that there's not just one child. There are rumors of half-elves. There are rumors of his tastes being varied.
The witch hunters just suffered a great loss in people, and they're still throwing everything they have here. You don't think maybe that's telling
Who you're saying that to? Him or Tal? Or who?
to him?
Okay, he's like, I know what I know. And I'm just telling you the rumor you asked to hear.
I struggle to believe that the nobles of Redania would ever bow to a half-dwarf. Perhaps a half-elf if they look human enough. But they're not the most friendly
Problem
people.
is that it would be his throne by right. And while people might not respect that, that is the way the world works.
The nobility do love their rights.
If it could be proven.
Nobility loves more than just rights. I don't know how much any of you have spent in a court or what you know of courts, but what nobility likes more than rights is wealth, and beyond that, power. Do you know the political climate between Redania and Temeria, neighboring
It's been rocky.
countries? Well, that's because of how Redania currently is. What if peace could be brokered between the two nations? Redania being the only country worth noting that wasn't completely overtaken by Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard is more willing to work with someone who's, or say, certain people would be more willing to work with Nilfgaard than others. And once again, trade and commerce. That's where the true power lies. You're not wrong, he says, sitting up a bit and looking to Tal. It's ridiculous, and every noble would reject it completely, wholeheartedly, publicly, and violently. They would certainly reject it. No question about that. But then coins fall. And sometimes lineages pass on to the next. Younger, different-minded, more hungry person. Not saying things would be easy in this ludicrous, hypothetical scenario based off of a rumor that is just unfounded in even whether or not a creature like that could be born.
So why hide him?
I think that's a bit obvious.
You don't
Bam!
think
When
he's heir to the
Bastian says it,
throne.
you know.
He's
you
the
don't think he's
assassin.
heir to
He's
the
like, why are you
throne-
making my job hard? Go ahead.
If you don't think he's the heir to the throne, then why protect him?
I know what I know. And I'm telling you the rumor you asked to hear.
I fucking hate politics.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, you get any more ridiculous tales you want to hear? How about the one with the bartender with two asses? You want to hear that one?
Oh, I like that one.
You've heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're good here. Frankly, I think we've got everything you're willing to give.
Then I think maybe you should go speak to Malvoon. See how much disruption of this contract you have. See if you can end it. Maybe we can talk again in the future.
All right.
We'll get out of your hair.
If you are indeed hypothetically protecting this hypothetically king potential kid,
Hey, Bastion,
I wish you the best of luck. Yes.
you're good.
Okay.
He nods. He says, as always, my camp is open to you. But for what you've done these past few days, how you've aided us. Understand that you no longer have to send someone in a cell. Brelka will speak of your quality of character. Brelka will speak of your value. Not everybody will like it, but they'll live. And even longer lives for your actions today. And so, with
Ooh,
that,
I do not feel good about this.
kind of dismisses you. No, but not in an impolite way. So you guys make your way out.
Yep.
And where do you guys go from here? So as you need to chat with one another.
Ooh, I need to check something.
Do it.
Fucking hell. Heir to Redania.
That
Not
should
something
be-
I thought I'd be hearing. Sorry.
Yeah. I was just saying that'd be interesting.
Yes, a half-dwarf heir to the throne. I might not be well versed in politics because I've spent most of my life on the run. And I'm not familiar with the area, but that would be quite a ruckus. No doubt
Leading a
the
rebellion
would
sounds
be
fun.
Does.
very interested in that.
I mean, so long as he's a good king and he's raised right, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
You mean as long as he's nothing like his dad?
Basically.
Daelric, I'm PMing you something. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, somehow I don't think that him being king would go over well.
Unless
That
he
him
had.
being here is kind of the best option right now.
Oh, absolutely. He's still young as well. At least from our understanding.
Would be a nice way to leave a mark on the world. Get that title you wanted after all, Bastion.
Send it on
I
Discord.
do like the idea of a title. The land.
To think that they're harboring someone like that in a camp like this.
It's the best place to hide him, really.
What else do they have? I'm surprised I didn't find out about him the time I've spent here.
Yeah, you spent some time in the court, didn't you, Bastion?
I was mostly just training and having a bit of fun. Hell no.
I'm sure you were. But for the moment that you were actually at court and paying attention, I think it would be good if you could give me a refresher at some points on how things work. Just so my base understanding of politics would be on the same level. You know what
should
I
I
mean?
roll to
From-
like gather?
That's
my
from your
understanding?
like background.
Yeah, I'm
as
basically
a
saying
court
like we need to
magistrate.
have an off-camera conversation at some point so you can tell me about politics.
Sounds good.
Marvelous.
I'll be sure to talk to you about it.
Good.
I guess we'll
No.
head into town.
So you guys start your trek back down there. Don't forget, you had purchased horses before. So you guys each have a horse, but then you actually have an additional horse that you got
Yeah, but I've
from...
got the best horse.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got the best horse.
Before we leave, actually.
You have a horse from somewhere else.
You've got the
Therefore
most
it's best.
exotic horse.
What were you saying, Brent?
Before we leave, actually, because I don't know, like, when we'll be back in town, but, like, I want to have a quick talk with John Run. If she's still around and awake.
Yeah. She definitely is, and you can definitely do so.
Alright, so I'll walk up to it. It's probably, I know we came... I imagine we came back, like, late afternoon. And so, like, we've had dinner and stuff, and I just find her in the evening when she's, like, sitting somewhere staring or whatever she does, and I just walk up and it's like... I don't suppose you have any training recommendations on how to improve someone's reflexes.
I do.
watch this.
I do. Requires a lot of training. a lot of time, a lot of work, maybe even a couple of other things to lend you some aid. But yeah, I do. Why?
Good. There was a moment a few days ago where my reflexes failed me. It's on the battlefield. I actually got stabbed, and I show her like the hole that I haven't had time to really like mend yet.
Oh, you mean
So-
in your clothes? I was
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, hold on a minute.
Well,
Walking around with a hole.
from the looks of from the looks of the stuff you're carrying, and how I've seen your friends walking about, looks like you're leaving for a while. You want to work on that stuff? You come back here. You put in the hours. I'm sure I could teach you a thing or two.
I'm sure we'll be around.
Okay.
Ooh.
And she like turns her attention away from you.
Ooh.
Turns her attention away from you. Awesome. So, and I'll get into what that means a little bit later with you guys off stream. So,
Sure.
I will. Why don't we end it there? And unfortunately, my bot's broken at the moment for whatever reason. I have to fix it. Where I can't like to throw out commands of like what's happening. So, say who you are. Say your links. If you want to type your links into chat, go right ahead. Let's start with Dunce. Start with
Hey,
Dunsey!
this boy.
it's me.
It's your
I'm
boy.
Dunspace.
Your
You
boy?
can find me at twitch.tv/Dunspace right there. There's also other like places you can go. Just look up Dunspace, you'll find me.
There you go. But what? All right. So,
But it's spelled Dunspace, so
Shut
I'm a
up.
little confused.
yeah. Bass like a drum. And after that, why don't we go to Messy? Because he is Messy.
Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, guys?
Hello, pussycat.
You can go to twitch.tv/messy_cat. I play some stuff. I just put out actually, since it's Spooktober, I'm on my YouTube channel putting out one video a week. I know, big shocker there. One video a
Wow.
week of me playing Witch Hunt with and Dunce is actually in those videos. He was actually playing it with us. So if you want more from me and Dunce together, you should go watch that.
Wait.
And then also we do streams sometimes.
So you go from witchers that are trying to oppose witch hunters to being witch hunters.
Mhm.
It's a little fucky right there.
What do you mean?
Witcher versus.
Oh, come on. We all know he wants to kill Bran at some point. He's just living out his fantasy right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we're building up to it, aren't we?
He's blowing off steam.
Derpity. Who are you? How can we find you?
Hi, my name's Rick. You can find me on youtube.com/derpdigital and twitch.tv/derpdigital. Life is still, like, taking a lot of attention, so I can't really do a lot, but I'm planning to have some Nimbadas videos up at some point, which is a game about building drones and attacking planets and things, so, you know, that's going to be interesting.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And Tal, what's your name? Neil. Who are you? Where can we find you in 59 minutes?
Remember his name? Yep, you can find me over at twitch.tv/OllyRant, where I am playing a PC with Scott in Stars Without Number Arden. And it is a very different system to D&D 5e, where your character can die in basically a single round of combat. And it's very interesting. And you can also find me on Twitter.
I think it's unfair. I think your character gets hit in one round of combat and then slowly bleeds out in a horrible, painful, excruciating way that's heart-wrenching over the course of the next 6 or 7
and
rounds.
destroys the next few sessions emotionally for every other character.
Ruins the campaign. So that's at least for some of us. Awesome, and I am Daelric, as he just said. You can find me over on twitch.tv/OllyRant, is how I want to say it, and I will say it, in less than an hour. Tonight, playing Star Wars over on my other channel, twitch.tv/Initiative Show. But you can just Google Daelric. You can find me everywhere doing all the things with all those people and other stuff too. But bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Oh,
Okay, bye-bye.
one more thing to say if people are still sticking around. and
Okay,
listening.
no more goodbye.
Penis.
I specifically have an idea for something that I want to to throw out to my patrons over on Patreon. If you're at the $25 tier or higher,
Ooh, 25.
let me know if you want to in on this fun little thing I have to throw together because of things that transpired today. So let me know or buy in and let me know, and we'll figure out how it goes. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Pay to win.
You suck.